what is up, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday evening. You know, I never saw myself signing up for Reddit or posting anything on Reddit until I've had a picture for quite a while. And I don't expect people to be... What's the word I'm looking for here? You can show people so much stuff and they're going to come up with their own conclusions, whether or not it's what you legitimately took a photo of, or people are going to come up, oh, it's photoshopped, it's this, it's that. I had told the long story, and I had asked you guys, you know, if you guys want to hear the story about what had happened to my former friend in his house. A lot of you said yes, and so I told the story and had a good response on that. I never told the story of what happened in this house, and I could go around taking pictures of every single crucifix that's in this house. I must have about 8 of them, and I just kind of left them there. I had rented out the house to my niece and her husband, and they began to experience a lot of weird, odd shit, to put it lightly. The thing is, though, it wasn't the first time they were experiencing stuff like this. It seemed to follow her husband around more than anything, and the stuff they were experiencing really was quite different. For instance, you know, the search bar on, and this was about maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago, before I got a divorce. On the search bar on Comcast, you know, you could type out what you're looking for. Well, the video starts off with my niece just hysterically crying, and her husband, who I guess he's Native American, part of him is Native American, and he's very proud of that culture. Looking at him, and this is no disrespect if you ever saw this video, I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have guessed it, you know, given his last name and everything, but, you know, I respect that if he, you know, embraces that side of his culture, then, you know, that's awesome. But what had happened was my niece, with her cell phone, had shown all the controllers to the TV, to the Comcast, to this and that. And the houses are spaced pretty far apart. So it wouldn't have been somebody, you know, messing around. And not only that, but the answers were quite direct and quite specific. What it was doing was almost acting like a Ouija board in an electronic way. Now, having expressed interest in the paranormal for a lot of my videos, I have said, you know, you have to have a level of respect for it, because there's so many times that a lot of these ghost hunters, that they end up attracting something that attaches to them. When I first found out about how to properly ghost hunt and, you know, how ways to protect yourself, you know, I would say a prayer, you know, recite a prayer amongst myself and my friends that would go ghost hunting with me. And I just don't think that, like I've told you guys before, you know, I'm Christian. I just don't think that God has ever wanted me to experience anything, even though I have experienced some things, but actually see with my own eyes, or be in the midst of some, you know, doors slamming and this and that, you know, only experiencing the after effects. But what they had experienced was beyond, what was poltergeist. It wasn't as bad as what had happened to my former friend, but my niece one minute would, you know, walk to the bathroom, come back out, you know, seconds later, and all the cupboards would be open. Mind you, my stepfather passed away in this house, but this was years before he passed away in this house. They would hear what she described like marbles, almost, you know, rolling on the floor, or footsteps walking to the bedroom. And the bedroom that she's talking about is this room, which I use as my art room, which is just totally, yeah. Right here I have my daughter's beautiful art. Everywhere else there's paint on the walls from paintings that I had done. Paint on the acrylic painting on the hardwood floors. Like I really need to do a deep clean of this room. It's clean, I mean, because of the computer stuff and all that, and I keep it nice and cool with the AC unit when the computers start to get a little bit hot. But yeah, as far as, you know, an art room, this was one of the main master bedrooms, and they would hear, and given that it's hardwood floor, they would hear footsteps coming to the floor. But that night, while my niece is, you know, hysterically crying, it's spelling out his father's name. He doesn't have a controller in his hands. He's sitting there because he's sitting in front of the coffee table. The controllers are right on the coffee table, and she's at an angle where she could see him and the responses, and almost like a spirit box, but through this search menu, he's asking questions and it is answering him intelligently. And of course that's called an intelligent haunting. Now, the only thing that I had ever captured in this house, and I had never once said, you know, beyond any reason, I just said, you know, I had gotten a new webcam. This is when I had a computer out there that's a piece of shit, and gotten a webcam. I was tired as fuck. I was looking for some headphones because I had the Sony XM1000, or what is it, 1000 XM4s, and I thought, okay, well, let me try, you know, I can't remember the name of them, but they're supposed to kind of be a competitor to them. Not Bose, but I forgot the name of them, but they were shit. And as I had the webcam was really focused on my face, and then over my shoulder, it would have been my right shoulder. We have this huge stained glass window that has been here, you know, since my stepfather was here, and it's about maybe 6-7 feet wide by 5.5 feet tall. Beautiful, I mean, just absolutely beautiful stained glass window. And then I have curtains with the car overhang, iron rod gate where you park the car underneath that. And then the garage is big enough to fit. I know at one point my stepfather had about 5 cars in there, but they were on dollies, on car dollies and all that he was able to fit in there. But I mean, it's, I don't even know how many square feet, but it's a humongous garage. And so the walkway, you would walk through the living room, and if you make a right, you're going to the front door. If you make a left, you're either going to go out the side door that leads underneath the carport, and then the garage is about another 20-30 feet in. And I have a big old trailer for our skidster. And if you were to walk that way, and instead of going right outside, you could turn left and you would go downstairs. And when that light's turned on, it's beautiful from all the colors of the stained glass and everything. So I was like, you know, where else to better post this than, you know, Reddit, to see what people think. And of course you have trolls, you know, and I got a lot of cool feedback from some people that are like, you know, you kind of get these assholes like this from time to time. And I said, you know, I don't let what people say that I don't know bother me. People are always going to talk shit about you no matter what. And, you know, the same goes true for when you're succeeding. People are either going to try to build you up and make you out to be the coolest thing, But what people love to do more than build you up is to tear you down. And if you allow people to do that to you, then, you know, you need to be stronger. You need to develop, you know, a backbone. And that was one thing that I remember, the only sage advice that shithead producer who ruined the first opportunity I had in the recording, in the music business. Luckily, I had made contacts and was able, you know, to go on and fulfill what I wanted to do in the music industry. But, you know, he said, it really is a dog-eat-dog world, and people are going to come at you with accolades, with, oh, you know, you're so cool, you're this, you're that. Hey, man, here's my demo, check this out. And it is true. It's sad but true. 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to give you their demo that they've been working hard on, and you're going to listen to it for 15 seconds. If that first 15 seconds isn't any good, I mean, that shit goes in the trash. And, you know, maybe if it's somebody that, you know, you're trying to do a solid for, you'll give it a minute. You know, you'll run through some tracks and be like, okay, well, you know, let me check this out. But, you know, this picture, I have no explanation for. I never experienced anything. I've never heard footsteps in this house. I'm the only one who lives here. I've never heard, you know, on noises. I've never had cabinet doors open. I've never had anything out of the ordinary, you know, happen to me. And like I said, my stepfather passed away in this house. When my mom was living here, my stepfather was living here. You know, she had came home from work. She brought him dinner, and she was just calling for him. He wouldn't answer. Which, you know, he wasn't an alcoholic, but he loved to drink beer, and sometimes he would have like 2 or 3 and then, you know, take a nap. And it looked like he had just opened a beer. There was still a little condensation left on the bottle, she said. She said she goes to, you know, wake him up, and that's when she could feel, you know, the stiffness and, you know, how cold he was. And so he must have been gone for like maybe 3 hours or so, 4 hours is what they kind of predicted. Even though that had happened, I've never experienced anything. I've never heard any strange noises, disembodied voices, EVPs, and believe me, I'm a person who's interested in that stuff, so I've tried EVPs. I've tried, you know, I've thrown flour on the floor to see if there'd be footsteps. I've, you know, all the shit that people would do to, you know, ghost hunt and do it with dignity, do the best way that you could possibly do it. Nothing has ever happened. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this picture. You let me know what you think. If you think it's bullshit, that's fine. But this is just a picture that I had caught. And mind you, I cut my face out because I looked like complete shit. I was so fucking tired. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there. And like I said, I'm looking for headphones, and I don't even know why I was up that late looking for headphones. And this just came out. And then when I posted it, there was a lot of cool people that were like, it's like, it looks like you could see like a face in the window, and also, you know, like a second shadow. I don't know about all that, but you guys let me know what you think. So here's the photo. Okay, so as you could see, this is the photo right here. Now, I know a lot of people were talking shit on Reddit, like, oh, it looks like something's hooked to the, you know, the curtains or whatever, but you could go closer and closer and closer. There's nothing hooked. It just appears to be some type of shadow. I'm not gonna go out of my way to, for one, and like I said, I didn't give a shit if they were ridiculing me or not, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to fix something up and make it look like this when I was testing out a shitty ass webcam. And this is before I even thought about YouTubing. This is in the middle of the walkway, so people are like, oh yeah, you know, it's a coat, you know, rack or whatever. Okay, fine. If you think it's a coat rack, I don't know who's gonna want to place it right in the middle. If they wanted to stage it, sure, okay, I get that. It's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna place a coat rack right in the middle. Here's a door leading to the outside, and here's the carport. Somebody said they could see like a face here, but I don't know what the heck that is. I just think that's, you know, pareidolia. You know, your eyes make of it what it will. And just how oddly shaped it is. Because, I mean, how many coats are this long? I mean, this doorway, I'm 6'4". I don't have to duck my head to get through here or to get through the walkway. I mean, this thing, I don't know how many coats are that long. Or how many, you know, I don't have black, you know, sheets or bedspreads or anything like that. I didn't know what to think of it. I didn't know what to make of it. And as it comes down here, I mean, it just looks undefined. Just real weird. Somebody was saying it looked like there was something over here. I don't know. Again, it's just way too pixelated. And like I said, it was a piece of shit webcam. But I just wanted to throw it out there for those of you who have interest in the paranormal and stuff. I've shown my interest. They haven't done too well on whenever I upload them, but it's a huge interest of mine. I usually enjoy watching them late at night after I get done YouTubing, so I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Would you consider this a shadow person, or would you consider this maybe just a trick of the light, just pareidolia? I mean, I don't know. I've never experienced anything in this household. My niece and her husband have, and it's followed them every house they've lived in, including the house they live in now. Yeah, I'm not going to talk badly about them, but yeah, I mean, what they had captured on that video, I wish she would have sent it to me. And she very well may have. I mean, I could look back in my old emails and see if she did. And I just know it was very personable to them and her husband's. It's not bad to say her husband, you know, is very. There's a word I'm looking for here. Her husband is very old school, and so I don't think he'd let her send it. I can't recall, but I could most certainly, you know, go back and look and see if, you know, she in fact did send it. But again, I just wanted to get your guys' take on this. A little something different from what I normally do, but again, I just wanted your guys' opinion. So yeah, until the next video, which will be posted up here pretty soon. Thank you guys for your time, like always. Over here.